Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Malibu Mokari, and yeah guys, today we are going to have a bit of a story time. I'm going to share with you guys what endometriosis is and how I eventually got diagnosed with this condition. I did say in my previous video that I am an endometriosis queen. Yes. So I'm going to share with you guys what this condition is according to scholars. It's not from my own knowledge. So it's according to scholars what endometriosis is. Tongue twister. And and just share my journey to when I eventually got diagnosed with this condition. So please be comfortable, get a snack, get yourself a drink, and relax guys. There will be TMI here and there, but I get it, this is the reason why I started this channel, is so we can talk about topics that are deemed taboo, have conversations that are hard but necessary for us to have. So yeah, settle in, join me. Another thing guys, whole cloudinyana, sunnyana, the weather is just, I don't know, it's not weathering, so it's going to affect the lighting, so just bear with me with that. But yeah, we are committed nonetheless. We are going to do this. So I have my notes, and I'm just going to read or tell you guys what endometriosis is and then share my journey on how I eventually got diagnosed. So once again, I'm going to put it out there. I am not a medical practitioner. I am not in the medical field. This is from my own personal, I'm sharing my personal journey. I'm also sharing what research says about endometriosis. So this is according to scholars. So everything that I'm going to be telling you guys around endometriosis, what it is from research that has been conducted, and I am just here to tell you guys all about it. So yeah, not in the medical profession, not a medical practitioner. I am just here to just talk. So what is endometriosis? So endometriosis is a condition in which tissue similar to tissue lining the uterus grows outside of the uterus. This tissue most commonly grows on ovaries, bowel, fallopian tubes, or the bladder. However, there have been cases where this tissue has been found on organs such as the liver, lungs, diaphragm, and the belly button. So this tissue responds to hormonal changes in the body in a similar way as the tissue lining the uterus will respond to these hormonal changes. What it does is it thickens, it will then break down, and it will bleed. But the problem here is that this blood has nowhere to go. That's what the problem is. It has nowhere to go. So it's essentially trapped, right? It's essentially trapped. So as I said, this is how it works, right? This tissue grows outside. This tissue that is similar to the tissue lining the uterus grows outside of the uterus on any organ. It can be on any organ, guys. Honestly, it can be on any organ. When I started researching, what I came across was that it grows on ovaries, fallopian tubes. That's it. But as time went by, as time went on, we were told that there are cases where it has been found elsewhere, so it can grow on any organ. It then irritates the nerve endings, which can cause severe pain. It can cause inflammation and affect how the organ functions. Right? In addition to this, endometriosis causes adhesions. So adhesions is what causes, it's basically like a glue that causes organs to stick together. So for example, you would have your ovaries stuck to the uterus, or the bladder being stuck to the uterus. So this is how ruthless this condition is. It can actually get your organs stuck together, right? So when these organs stuck together or get glued together, what happens? There is severe pain, there is discomfort, and as I said, the organ does not function as it's supposed to function. So this is the problem. This is the problem. So symptoms of endometriosis include but not limited to painful menstrual cycle, chronic pelvic pain, diarrhea, constipation, painful bowel movement, painful intercourse, backache, excessive menstrual bleeding or the absence of a menstrual cycle, painful urination, infertility. So in this case, guys, there are some women who are able to fall pregnant with endometriosis, but others aren't able to fall pregnant. And honestly, scholars, researchers don't know why. They don't know why this occurs. There are some women who suffer with infertility for years because of endometriosis, and others who are able to fall pregnant with endometriosis, right? So endometriosis is categorized into 4 stages. We have 1, which is minimal, 2, it's mild, 3, it's moderate, 4 is severe. However, I want everybody to know that you can find a woman with stage 4 endometriosis, which is severe, who does not experience any pain, who does not experience any discomfort. And you'll find a woman with minimal endometriosis who suffers from severe pain, who is debilitated by pain every day of their life. So the different stages does not mean that you have more pain and you feel more pain. It does not work like that. Also, researchers don't know why. They don't know why this is the case, right? So what percentage of society has endometriosis? Okay, so the estimates vary from 2% to 15%. But because it is difficult to diagnose endometriosis, it is almost impossible to have an answer at this very moment. So yeah, guys, it's just impossible at the moment. We don't know. I think research does not know how many women live with endometriosis because it is so difficult to have it diagnosed, right? Another thing is that endometriosis can only be diagnosed through surgery. So what happens is that you go to the doctor, you tell the doctor what you're experiencing, and then the doctor would say, oh, okay, I think you might have endometriosis, but we'll have to undergo a surgery. So what they do is they conduct, or the surgery that is conducted is what is called laparoscopy. Yes. So what happens is that they put cameras inside your belly, and they just check for the endometriosis, check where it is. If it is there, they will then clean it. They will then clean or remove the tissue that is there, and then they stitch you back. That's the only way they can diagnose endometriosis, through surgery. There are no other means of diagnosing endometriosis. It cannot be diagnosed with blood test. At the moment, at this specific moment, what we have is surgery, right? And it's so unfortunate because, sure, you can go to like surgery more than once with this condition, which is in my case, I've had 2 surgeries just trying to deal with this condition. Moreover, there is no consensus around experts on what causes endometriosis. So we don't know what causes endometriosis. It's not known. It's believed that genes play a role, that the environment also plays a role, the immune system also plays a role, or that retrograde bleeding is the reason why there is endometriosis. As I said, we don't know. There is no consensus around this. More research still has to be done in order, for us to get concrete answers to why endometriosis happens, why we get endometriosis, how we deal with endometriosis, how we cure endometriosis. There's just no concrete, there's no consensus among experts, right? Another thing that is very painful with endometriosis is that there is no cure. You really have to go for surgery in order to get diagnosed and also to treat endometriosis. It's being cut open, have cameras in your belly, check for the endo, and then they remove it, they clean it, and if you are lucky, it will not, it's supposed to take, well, they say it's supposed to take about 5 years for it to reoccur if the surgery is done correctly. However, in some cases, it reoccurs after a year. This was in my case. It reoccurred after a year after having surgery. There are reasons. Some reason is that it's really, really severe and aggressive. That's why it comes back. Others say that, you are operated by somebody who's not knowledgeable, who did not do a good job removing the tissue. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. I just wish we can get to a point where we all agree. But it's okay. We'll wait. We'll wait. So this is the information that I wanted to share with Endo. I'm sure there is a lot out there. I just wanted to summarize it and then get to how I was then finally diagnosed with endometriosis. Shoo, guys. So as I said, TMI. We are getting into it now, guys. I started my period, I think when I was around 12, 13 when I started my period. I was in primary school and I had what I considered a normal period. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I think around grade 4, we were ushered into the school hall by our female teachers and we were taught about periods. And they told us that, you will have a light flow, a normal flow, or a heavy flow. We were told about the duration of the period, that women can have their period for 7 days, but anything beyond 7 days, then you need to go see a doctor. So when I started my period, I was like, okay, I know this, I've got the information, I'm good. Then I was able to bear my period pains. Like I could go a day, I could have period pains, but I wouldn't even need to take a painkiller. If they were severe, I could take one painkiller and it was okay. I could bear my period pains, I could bear them. So as I said, I had what was considered a normal period until one day where I missed my period. Literally missed my period. I think I was in early high school. I missed my period. I was freaking out. What is going on? Because the first thing you think about when you miss your period is am I pregnant? I was not even sexually active, but I was freaking out. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my aunt. I did not tell my friends. I was just freaking out thinking, what is happening? If I tell anyone, they're probably going to think, she's sexually active or she's pregnant. Let's take her to the doctor for a pregnancy test. I don't know if maybe the doctor would have investigated further. I don't know, but I don't think so, because women are dismissed when they go to the doctor and they tell doctors that they have painful menstrual cycles. So guys, I was so nervous. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I was like, it's fine. If I don't get my period the following month, I definitely have to say something because clearly something is wrong, right? Luckily, the following month, my period came, but now it's different. It's not the normal period that I was used to. My period was now all of a sudden heavier. Okay. Remember that knowledge that I'm carrying is that you can have a light flow, a normal flow, or a heavy flow. So I was like, okay, my period changed. I have a heavy flow now. There's nothing I can do. Life goes on. Enjoy high school without any worries or without any troubles. And then finish high school, go to varsity, still nothing. And then by the age of, I think, 24, I was doing my internship, but luckily my internship was coming to an end. This is when my periods were like, I'm gonna show you who I am. I'm gonna show you my true colors, right? Hey guys, now all of a sudden I'm just unable to bear these period pains. Now I literally have to take more than 2 painkillers to be okay. And this was happening month after month after month. More than 2 painkillers. Now all of a sudden always tired. I just don't understand what's going on, right? But as I said, it was towards at the end of my internship. My internship comes to an end, and guys, endometriosis, I don't know, girl. Now that you are home, I'm going to deal with you. I am going to show you my true colors. Yo, guys, I all of a sudden start getting debilitated by pain when I'm on my period. I'm unable to function. I'm unable to eat. I'm unable to move. I'm literally bedridden because of my periods. And this is happening for months now. Oh my goodness. I was just like, what is happening? The pain that I felt like I had barbed wire in my tummy, and that I had people standing next to me or sleeping next to me, and they would pull this barbed wire in opposite directions. I would move and I'm telling you guys what I would be in bed. I can't do anything. Hey, change a position, guys. The pain intensifies. It will intensify. I'd sit in bed, I'd cry, and just ask myself, what is happening? I could not eat anything. The only thing I could eat, guys, the only thing I could stomach was soft porridge. I literally had soft porridge for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. And this happened month after month after month. And I was just like, maybe next month it will be better. Next. Okay, I'm thinking, because I used to take painkillers, maybe now I should also up the dosage. Maybe this will assist me. Guys, the minute I take just one painkiller, barbed wire, it felt like somebody's just pulling and pulling and pulling. And yo guys, oh my gosh, yeah, it felt like somebody was just pulling, or 2 people were just pulling opposite directions. And yeah, it was painful. So eventually I decided, you know what, let me go to the doctor, because I don't get it. I go to the doctor and I tell the doctor that, I'm experiencing severe period pains when I'm on my period. And he was just like, oh, okay, so tell me, what do you eat? And I'm like, well, I eat normal food. And he was like, okay, I would suggest that you change your diet. And I also suggest that you just exercise, move, do something, And I was like, is that it? I'm like, you don't understand. This pain literally leaves me debilitated. I can't do anything. I can't function. I literally have to walk, not even walk, I have to crawl from my bedroom to go to my mom's bedroom so that I can use her bathroom, because I just, that's how bad it was. I couldn't walk. If I tried to walk, I can't walk up straight. And I'm explaining to this doctor, and he's just like, nah, period pains are normal. Period pains are normal. Just change your diet and just exercise. Granted, changing your diet, modifying your diet really does help, as well as exercise really does help in the management of endo. But I mean, in that, back then, you're not even telling me the root cause. What could be the reason why I'm experiencing these pains? Nothing. You're just telling me that I need to change my diet. You're not referring me to another doctor, maybe for a second opinion. Nothing. change your diet, exercise, period pains are normal, there is nothing to worry about. Okay, I go back home, I tell my mom, and we were both like, I don't know. Life continues. I'm still experiencing these pains. I am still experiencing these pains. Now, it's gotten to a point where I'm not just experiencing pain during my cycle, but I'm also experiencing pain before and after my cycle. Literally days before my period, my body will just be what is going on, what is going on. Even after my cycle, the same thing, to a point where I actually thought, or maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm making this up, maybe I'm really crazy, because I just did not understand what is going on. Like, I was not getting concrete answers. I was asking, and nothing was just coming to me until this one afternoon. I was watching an afternoon talk show, and I think it was during Endometriosis Awareness Month, which happens around the month of March. I think it was then, yeah. And they had this young lady who came in to talk about endometriosis, and I was like, you know what, let me listen. I'm interested, let me listen. And this young lady was like, yeah, okay, endometriosis. She explained what endometriosis is, and then she went in and told us about her symptoms. And she was like, I've got painful period pains, I've got painful periods, I've got backache, problem urinating, and she's just like going on and on. And I'm like, okay, I do have painful periods, yes. I struggle to pee, guys. When I peed, it felt like somebody was literally stretching my bladder. That's how bad it was. I felt like somebody was just like ripping my bladder open when I needed to go pee, and it was just so painful. And there were times where I would get like this urgency to pee. I'd go to the bathroom and guys, 2 or 3 drops, and that's it. And I'm just like, this cannot be life. This is definitely not normal. It cannot be normal. It can't. So now this young lady is like telling us about her symptoms, problems with urinating, constipation, and I'm like ticking, okay, I do have constipation, I have problem urinating, I do have painful periods. And then she mentioned some of her symptoms. Another thing with endometriosis worries is that, in as much as the symptoms that I mentioned are common, but we don't experience the same symptoms. We don't. Some do not have problems with urinating. Some do. Some don't have constipation. Some do. Some don't have diarrhea. Some do. So we don't experience the same pain. We don't have the same symptoms. We don't show the same symptoms. So I think I ticked like 3 out of the ones that she was mentioning. And then she was like, oh yes, it also causes infertility. And I was like, okay, no, that's not me. No, I honestly don't have this condition. I was like, nah, when I know about like infertility, I wanna no ways, it can't. It's this. I definitely do not have this condition. Guys, I was not even thinking about having kids then. I was literally 24. I'm not thinking about kids. I'm like trying to get a job. I was job hunting by then, so I was like, I need to get a job. I'm not thinking anything around kids. Mara, that girl just decided to say infertility, which is accurate. She was sharing what endometriosis does, and I was like, not me. Definitely not me. I definitely don't have issues with infertility. I'm okay. So yeah, immediately after she said that, guys, I literally shut down and I stopped listening to what this girl was saying, because I thought to myself, nah, it can't be me. So let's move on. Maybe another condition. I find life goes on. Now, after that show, after a few months after that show, I started now, there was an absence of my period. I literally did not, I would physically feel that I'm on my period, but nothing was coming out. So this is what we said about the blood is then, it bleeds, but it's trapped because it has nowhere to go, right? So I was like not seeing my period, but I could feel that physically. I can feel that it's the time of the month, but nothing is happening. So this is what they call retrograde bleeding. What that is, I could be wrong, just paraphrasing what I know it to be. They say that blood actually travels back to the fallopian tubes and onto it, then goes onto like the ovaries. So I think that blood traveling back is what causes endometriomas, or what is called a chocolate cyst. So now I'm not seeing my period, but I can feel physically what I am on my, like, it's the time of the month. There are signs that it's the time of the month, but the usual flow that I'm used to, I'm not getting anymore. Okay, fine. Now, all of a sudden, I start developing something on my lower tummy. Hey guys, it felt like a ball that was growing in my tummy, and I just could not explain what it was. At first I was like, maybe it's because I have a problem with constipation, right? And I know this thing is getting worse and worse and worse with every passing month. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I was like, hey, you know what? 1 minute it's there, next minute I can feel it, the next minute I can't feel it. So I just didn't understand. I think that's the reason why I was like, maybe it's because of constipation. Life goes on. I finally get a job in Pretoria. I moved to Pretoria, and this is where I met my husband. This is where I met my husband. I met my husband, and obviously we started dating. But we don't talk about like having kids or anything like that. And then in 2018, he then decides, oh no, you know what? I am going to do the honorable thing. I'm going to send a letter, and yeah, I think it's time for us to get married. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't have a problem with that. And then after that, we start deciding, okay, we need to have, we start talking about having kids now. I'm like, okay, let's grow our family. I mean, we've got the twins. Now let's grow our family. It's time. And then we start trying to conceive. Okay. Start trying to conceive, guys, and 3 months goes by, nothing is happening. Okay, no worries. 6 months goes by and nothing is happening, and I was like, you know what, I think I should just go check. This is another problem that we have in society. Whenever there is no baby in a relationship, a marriage, whatever, we tend to think that the woman is the one with the problem. And what then do? We say the woman must go get checked. Okay, granted, in this case, I was the one with the issue. And also because my husband has kids, I was like, okay, maybe the problem is not with you. If there is a problem, because you already have kids, so let me just go and check, right? So I go. I consult a gynae this time. The first doctor I went to was a GP, so now I decided, let me go to a gynae. So I decided to go to a gynae. I go to the gynae, and I remember before I got checked, I went to the loo to pee, and then after that I got ready to get checked. And when I met the gynae, he started with a physical exam. So he was just feeling around my tummy, my lower tummy. He was just feeling for, I don't know, whatever it is that they feel for, but he was just feeling around my tummy. And I remember him looking at me with such terror, and he was like, do you need to pee? And I'm like, no, I don't need to pee, I'm okay, I just peed. And he looked up and he looked at me, and I could see, oh no, something is not right. Okay. And he was like, okay, cool, let's do an ultrasound and let's just check. Okay, fine. He does an ultrasound there and he checks, and he was like, okay, you have what we call a chocolate cyst. And I'm like, what? What's a chocolate cyst? And he was like, oh, ovarian endometrioma. And I was like, oh, okay, what is that? And he's like, and it's quite big, it's large. I think it was 4 centimeters big, and she was like, it's really big, we need to operate. And I'm like, what? Like what? He's like, yeah, we really need to operate as soon as possible. And you could see he was scared, like he was nervous. We need to operate, and then after that we're going to put you on a diet, and then you're going to fall pregnant. And I was like, okay. Obviously when I went in, he was asking about my history, and he asked me, what am I doing here? I'm like, no, we're trying to fall pregnant and it's not happening. We've been trying for the past 6 months, nothing is happening. So he was like, okay, we are going to operate, and then after operating we are then going to change your diet and you will fall pregnant. And I was like, oh, okay, no, great. If that's the case, let's do this. Let's do this. Guys, that guy did not say to me that he's suspecting endometriosis, right? So I leave his office confused, firstly thinking, what is a chocolate cyst, or what is a endometrioma? I don't know, you know. So I go home and I tell my husband that this is the issue, this is the case, this is what's happening. Apparently I have something that is called a cyst, a chocolate cyst, and it needs to be operated. You know, I'm reading up on this endometrioma, but nothing in me is saying endometriosis. Or maybe when I was reading, I missed somewhere where they said endometriosis. Okay, fine, guys. So my husband and I decided, okay, let's just get ready for surgery and we'll take it from there. So we get ready for surgery, and I go in for surgery. They check, they remove this endometrioma, and they then clean the endometriosis, and voila. Apparently the doctor said that the surgery took long because the endo was aggressive. There was quite a lot of this tissue that was found around, I think it was found around my bladder, it was found around my bowel, it was found obviously on my ovaries, and he said that it took a long time to get it, you know, to remove the tissue, this tissue that is growing, invading our organs. Okay, fine. After that, guys, I'm thinking I'm gonna fall pregnant. So good. They put me on medication. This medication stopped my period for I think 6 months. What a bummer. I was so irritated. I was like, no one explained this to me. But anyway, it stopped my periods for like 6 months, and then after that we decided to try again, you know. Hi guys, we are trying. 3 months passes, and then after 3 months I was like, no, I'm going back to the gynae. I'm like, what is happening? I'm going back to the gynae. So I go back to the gynae. Now I'm not seeing the gynae that I saw. I'm seeing a different gynae. I'm not with that gynae anymore. So I'm seeing a different gynae. It's a female gynae, and I tell her that, you know, I'm trying to fall pregnant and it's just not working. And she was like, okay, you have what we call endometriosis. And I was like, what? Okay, I have endometriosis. Oh, okay. And she's like, you have what we call endometriosis. So what endometriosis also does is that it affects the fallopian tubes. So chances are your fallopian tubes are blocked. So we need to go perform a procedure, just see if they are not blocked. And this can be done via surgery. And she said something else, but I forgot what that procedure was. And she was like, it's not going to take long. It's just literally you going in, they check, and then we just, you know, from that procedure it will be told if your fallopian tubes are blocked or not. Okay, sharp guys, we go back home. I tell my husband, oh yeah, it was during COVID, so he couldn't go into the doctor's room with me. So I go back and I tell him, okay, this is what is happening. And he was like, okay, it's not like full blown surgery, so this is okay, you know, we'll do this, right? Fine. I get ready, guys, to go to theater, and I get there, and you have to sign and tell them what you are going in for. So I'm like, they're just gonna check if my fallopian tubes are not blocked. That's it. Fine. The doctor even says, the first gynae, the one that I'm paying, when I I thought that this is the guy that I'm going to be seeing every time I go to his room. Unfortunately, I only saw him twice, and I only saw him once, and then after that I saw him twice when in theater. So fine, guys, no worries here. The gynae then also tells me, it's like, okay, you are going in, we're just gonna check if your fallopian tubes are blocked, that's it. I'm like, okay, cool, get in. Guys, I think I got in around 12, and I was out of theater I think at around 3:30. And when I woke up, when I was being taken to the ward, the nurse is like, your husband has been trying to call you. He's left so many, he's called the ward because he couldn't reach you on your cell phone. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm still dizzy. I get to the ward, I asked the nurse to give me my phone, so I call my husband. And he's like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know, but all I know is that I'm in so much pain. I don't know what this doctor did. I don't know if he removed my fallopian tubes, but how can he remove them without my consent? I don't know what is happening. All I know is that I am in pain. And my husband's like, okay, I'll come see you later. He comes to see me later thinking, he came to see me later on in the evening, and like he's asking me, Kante, what's going on? And I'm like, you know what? I have no idea. All I know is that I have bandages where I was stitched or where they cut me open last year with my first surgery. So now I really don't know what's going on. And I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna have to wait for your doctor. The doctor only came to do his rounds, obviously, the following day. The following day he comes, guys. He's so casual, so casual, and he was like, oh yeah, Hesh, you came in to check if your fallopian tubes are not blocked, but unfortunately we found endometriosis and we had to operate because it was a lot, it was bad. And he kept on going on about how long the surgery took, and he was like, oh yes, also your fallopian tubes are blocked. And I was like, what? He's like, your fallopian tubes are blocked, so we need to do IVF. My husband and I are just like, slow down. Slow down, It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to do IVF, it's not a problem. You're gonna go on this medication that I'm gonna put you on the same medication that I put you last year. And then after that, after a few months, you have to start IVF hormones. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. He's like, don't worry. He was just so casual about it. He was so casual about it now that I think about it. He was so casual. My husband is sitting there, he is annoyed, thinking, first of all, you didn't get any consent to operate my wife, because like no one knew what was happening. No one knew what was happening, and here you are telling us that we need to go for IVF, and you are telling us he was even giving us time frames. It was like, you need to do it before you heal from this operation, because once you get a scar, it causes difficulties with the IVF. And he's just going on and on and on, and I'm just like, I was crying. I was crying, guys. I was crying because I'm thinking to myself, this doctor, first of all, is so insensitive. Secondly, he does not even understand the emotional toll this has on us as a couple. It also seemed like he doesn't understand how expensive IVF is. And he kept on saying, you will get your twins. Did I say I want twins? Like, he was like, you will get your twins, don't worry, don't cry, it's gonna be okay. And he's just so casual about it. And I was just like, you know what, okay, good, fine. So I stay in the hospital for a few days for observation, and then I go home, and I'm like to my husband, I don't know if I want to do IVF. I don't even know if we've got the funds for IVF. I don't know, I was just like, I just don't know. All I know is that I'm drained. I don't understand how we got here. I wish that doctor had not dismissed me when I went to him the first doctor, the GP that I went to. I wish he had referred me to a specialist. Maybe things wouldn't be like this. But you know how it is when you're going through stuff. You're thinking, if I could have done this, if I could have done that, you know. And I remember just saying to my husband, we both agreed that, you know what, let's deal with one thing at a time. We are not going to try IVF. We decided that no, we're not going for IVF. Let us just relax. Let's just relax. Let us see how we can manage this endometriosis. What I then did is that I changed my diet. I read up on endometriosis diet. There is a lot of diets, guys, but I then decided that I'm not going to follow these diets that I'm getting on the internet. I am going to just take food that pops up a lot in different diets, and I'm going to buy those food and I'm going to eat those. So that's what I did. I changed my diet. A lot of veggies, a lot of leafy greens, a lot of berries, a lot of Evo. I love Evo. A lot of Evo. My green tea. Oh my gosh, it's probably cold. Okay, it's not that bad. A lot of green tea. A lot of water. A lot of water. Oh. This is nice. A lot of water, and then we decided that, you know, we needed to start exercising. He wanted us to jog, and I was like, I'm not jogging. I don't like jogging. I'm sorry, I am not. Count me out. I am not there. So we started walking, and we'd walk, I think, like 4 times more waking. And yeah, we changed our diet. He was also included in the diet, although there were certain foods that he was not eating. You know, foods like quinoa. And quinoa is so nice, guys. It's so delicious. And he was like, I'm not going to eat this. But we changed our diet. We exercised, we'd walk, and we eventually fell pregnant when we were not even thinking about it. We fell pregnant. And yeah, that's a story for another day and another time. So my advice would be to anyone who is suspecting that they might have endometriosis to please go to the doctor and get checked. If you get dismissed, because a lot of women do get dismissed, I don't know if they still do get dismissed quite a lot nowadays, but if you do get dismissed by your doctor, go to a different doctor, explain your symptoms, and tell your doctor that you might need surgery or you might need to be referred to a specialist so that you can see a specialist, and then push for that surgery, because unfortunately that's the only thing that we have now to diagnose endometriosis and also to just treat it. Push to have that surgery. Change your diet, eat your veggies, eat your broccoli. People don't like broccoli. I was one of those people, but I eat broccoli now. Eat your veggies, you know, eat a lot of your berries, eat those nuts, you know, have them, exercise, move as much as possible. Yeah, and explain your symptoms thoroughly to the doctor and tell them that this is what you might be suspecting. Change doctors, guys. I don't know how many. I think I've changed gynaes twice. Yeah, I've changed gynaes twice because I just felt, okay, the second gynae shame, guys, it was because I just couldn't go back to the hospital where he operates. That's where I lost my son, so I can't go back there. But I definitely would recommend you guys to change gynaes. If one gynae says to you, you are too old to fall pregnant, go to another gynae. Go to another gynae. If you get dismissed, go. Guys, you will eventually find a doctor that cares, a doctor that listens, and a doctor that wants to help. And yeah, just, you know, another thing that I can say is just try to relax and just try your level best to get into these communities. I didn't know there was an endometriosis community until I was diagnosed, and let me tell you something, they are very helpful. They can get a bit draining at times and, you know, quite sad at times, but you can always switch off. But just to read up and hear other people's stories, I'd recommend that you do that. But most importantly, if this is what you feel, if you are debilitated by pain every month, please go to your gynae. If your daughters are debilitated by pain, please take them to the doctor. It's not normal. It's not normal, guys. They've been saying period pains are normal. Having a bad period is not normal. You are not supposed to function when you're on your period. You're supposed to function normally. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but you're not supposed to be debilitated and you can't move, you can't do anything, you can't eat. It's not supposed to be that way. So this is my advice to you guys, is if this is what you are suspecting or this is what you're dealing with, go to your doctors, speak to your doctor, change doctors if you need to, change gynaes if you need to. You don't have to stay loyal to a person who doesn't care about you. Change until you get somebody or a doctor who will care for you, a doctor who will understand and who is ready to listen to you. So yeah, guys, this is my story. I hope some of you guys can share your stories with me, and let's take this journey together. Let's take this journey together. So I will see you guys next week. Yes, I hope I can post videos every Wednesday. I will try to post videos every Wednesday, but for now I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, thank you so much for sharing, thank you so much for subscribing. Don't forget to continue to share and continue to comment down below. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope it will be my first vlog. I'm hoping it will be my first vlog, but for now it is goodbye from me to you. I love you guys. I will see you guys next week. Yeah, see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, share. Am I saying it correctly? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please share with as many people as possible. Ask them to join this community. Ask them to join this powerful movement that we are starting. But for now, bye-bye.